we are going to study about the plant kingdom. Initially, we saw the introduction in the plant kingdom. Now we are going to see about the next division, that is Pteridophyta. Before that, we saw the algae. To study about Pteridophyta. Pterido, it means feather, and phyta, it means plant. The plant which are having the feather like leaves, they are called as pteridophytes. See here, this diagram is given. This is the picture of fern plant, that's Nephrolepis exultata. If you look at the leaf of this plant, it is feather like. And in this pteridophytes, near about 400 genera and 10,500 species are included. Here is the sub picture of pteridophytes are given, which include the horsetail and ferns. Figure is given, and these pteridophyte is called as first vascular cryptogams. These are the first vascular leaf. Stem here in case of fern is rhizome. They have true root, stem and leaf. But reproductive organ is here born on the leaf, and such a leaf is called as sporophyll. Reproductive leaf here is sporophyll, and these organs have the well differentiated vascular system. The leaves in pteridophyte are small, called as microphyllous, and in Selaginella it is large, called as macrophyllous. Then economic importance about some pteridophyte is given. Rheumatism, remember this, lycopodium. Lycopodium is for rheumatism. Rheumatism is pain in joints, especially at leaves. So for rheumatism, this lycopodium is used, and equisetum is used for diuretic diseases related with the urine disorders, while its ash relieves acidity. Then next, scrubbing. For scrubbing, equisetum is also used. They are used as scrubbing and polishing. Then some pteridophyte has ornamental value. A number of ferns and club mosses are grown in the indoor as well as in the garden for their graceful foliage, because their leaves are good, looking good. Next, the reproduction about pteridophyte. This is the sporophyte of fern. This plant is fern, that is Nephrolepis exultata. This is its root by which conduction of water and mineral takes place. The next part is rhizome. Rhizome is a modified stem. It is also called as caudex. Also called as caudex. Caudex. C-A-U-D-E-X. Caudex. And here some wire-like branches are present, which goes in the soil and come out of the soil, again go into the soil, again come out of the soil, like this wiry branches. These are called as stolon. Then next, root, stem. Now these are the leaf. Here is the leaf, and this is rachis, and these are the leaves. This structure is called as frond. Leaves along with the rachis, like you saw the kadi patta. In that one strip is there, rachis, and sidewise the leaves are there. So like that structure is there. I told you the leaf of this plant is reproductive leaf, because reproductive organs are going to born on the leaf. And in higher plants like angiosperm, the reproductive organ is going to born on a special structure, that is flower, which is mainly meant for sexual reproduction. And here the sex organ are going to produce on the leaf, and such a leaf is called as sporophyll. Sporophyll means reproductive leaf. So what happened, if we look at about the structure of this leaf, it has two surface. One is upper surface, another is lower surface. Upper surface is called as adaxial surface, and lower surface is called as abaxial surface. Abaxial surface. So on the abaxial surface, there is one structure is present which is brown color, called as sorus. Sorus or sori. And from this sori, spores are produced. In this sorus, the spores are going to produce, because sorus contain a number of spores called as sporangium. There is a bag called as sporangium. Here the name is written. I told you sorus, which is present on the abaxial surface of leaf. Abaxial surface means lower surface. And these sorus contain the sporangium, and sporangium, these are the diploid tissue which will produce spore, and when the spore is produced, it will fall on the surface of soil, means where there is more water, and that spore will produce prothallus. I will show you the prothallus. Here is the Selaginella and strobili. These are the strobili, like a cone like structure. This is a equisetum. Name is given like this equisetum. Equus means horse, like this part looks like the tail of horse, hence name is given horse tail. And if we look at about this plant, it has silica on its outer surface, means the one of the content of its cell wall is silica. These plants are responsible for the fire forest. In some cases, sporophyll is distinct, separate, and will form a compact structure called as strobili or cone. Example is Selaginella and equisetum. Here is the prothallus. I told you I show you the prothallus. Here is the prothallus, which is heart-shaped structure. This is heart-shaped structure. This is prothallus. How it is formed, I told you. The lower surface of leaf, remember this, L means lower surface of leaf, has sorus. Sorus will produce sporangium or sporangium. Angium is bag, and in this sporangium, spores are produced. When this sporangium is a bag, like this bag has many spores, and when this sporangium burst, or when it dehisce means it will break. When it break, because its walls are hygroscopic, moisture absorbing, when the moisture become less, this sporangium will break and these spores are released, and these spores when germinate, they will give rise to this prothallus. Prothallus is formed from the spores. This is prothallus. Pro means initial or primitive, and thallus means false body, which don't have root, stem or leaf. They have this rhizode like structure. Rhizoids are there, which takes the water and mineral and provide to this prothallus. Here it is shown, see, gametophytic stage. Spores are produced. These spores will give rise to prothallus, and prothallus is monoecious. Monoecious means, mono means single and ecious means house. When in one plant male and female both the sex organs are present, then such a condition is called as monoecious. Ecious means house, mono means single. And when male and female sex organ present on different part of plant, that is called as dioecious. So remember this sporophyte, how it will produce the gametes. The gametophytic stage is called as gametophytic. Sporangia produces the spores by meiosis. In the description I told you, sporangia produces spores by meiosis in spore mother cell, and spore germinate to give rise inconspicuous, means not clear, small, multicellular, free living, mostly photosynthetic, being it is green, thalloid gametophyte called as prothallus. This is the prothallus, which is photosynthetic, non-vascular, has rhizoids. With the help of rhizoids, it will get nutrition. And it is monoecious. Remember, it is monoecious. Here it is shown. This is heart shaped. It has, this part is called as notch, present on the apical position, hence the name is given apical notch. Then cushion, this part is cushion. This is anterior part showing the cushion. Growing part, archegonia. Remember, archegonia is sex organ. There is one Marathi movie, if you saw Sairat movie, the name of female actress is Archie. So remember, Archie means female here, female sex organ, archegonia. Lateral margin are there, and posterior margin, and here are the rhizoids which will provide the nutrition. And antheridium is a male sex organ which is present in the posterior position, lower position. This is upper portion. In upper or anterior portion there is archegonia, and on the lower position there is archegonium, but both are present on the same prothallus. Hence the prothallus is mono, being it has male and female both the sex organ on the same plant. But here condition is called protandry. Here one condition exists which is called as protandry. Protandry means what? When male develop before the female sex organ, such a condition is called as protandry. When male sex organ develops before or mature before female sex organ, such a condition is called as protandry. Means suppose these are the two prothallus, this is one prothallus and this is another prothallus. So what I am saying here, the male of one prothallus, this is one prothallus, this is another prothallus, this is another prothallus, this is one prothallus. What happened here? Male develops before the female, so male gamete from this prothallus will go toward the female of other prothallus. Why? Because this female of each prothallus will produce an chemical called as malic acid, and because of this malic acid, because of this chemical, male from prothallus will goes toward the female of another prothallus, like from here to here. Why it is going? Male, the male sex organ, that is antheridium, will produce the biflagellate antherozoids which is motile, and these motile means from this antheridium it will produce antherozoids, and these antherozoids will go toward the female egg. Egg is present in the archegonium contain the egg. So antherozoids will go toward the egg because of chemical secreted by this archegonium, and we know where archegonium is present, in this cushion like part, and this movement is called as chemotactic movement. Because of chemical, this antherozoid is going toward the egg. Prothallus requires cool, damp, shady place to grow. Also it need water for fertilization, so spread of pteridophyte is limited and it is restricted to a narrow geographical region. Gametophyte bears male and female sex organ called as antheridium and archegonium. Here the life cycle is given. Water is essential for their fertilization. This is sporophyte. This is sporophyte, means spore producing plant body. I told you from its leaf the spores are produced which germinate, gives rise to a prothallus. Prothallus contain sperm and egg, that is sperm is produced in antheridium, egg is produced in the archegonium, and both will fertilize to form diploid zygote, and diploid zygote is formed, it will convert into the embryo to seed, and seed will be the future plant, or we can say embryo is nothing but the future plant. So there is occurrence of two stages, one is diploid stage and another is haploid stage. So when the haploid stage is formed from antheridium which is present in this prothallus and archegonium, when archegonium form egg by meiosis and antheridium will form sperm by meiosis, at that stage their diploid stage is going to end, means sporophytic stage is going to end. Sporophytic stage is diploid, and after meiosis, when the gamete is formed, gametophytic stage will begin. But in this plant, sporophytic stage exists for long time, gametophytic stage is for short time. Gametophytic stage depend upon the sporophytic stage, hence here is the sporophytic stage is dominant. Water is essential for transfer of antherozoids. Antherozoid fuse with the egg and archegonium to form zygote. Zygote is developed into a multicellular well differentiated sporophyte. This is sporophyte. Here given these are the microspore. Microspore has outer layer called as exine, inner layer is intile, centrally placed nucleus surrounded by cytoplasm. This is of Salaginella. This is a megaspore. Megaspore means female gamete and microspore means male gamete. And leaves are so called on which leaf the microspore is going to form. That leaf is called as microsporophyll, and the leaves on which female gamete is going to form is called as megasporophyll. Most of the pteridophyte produce similar kind of spore called as homospore, and some spores means micro and mega. These are the different size of spore. Macro means large, micro means small, and they are heterosporous. Heterosporous plants are Salaginella, then Salvinia, Marcellia and Azula. Two more examples are there. Remember, M for Marcellia, and again remember the one more example, Azula. Lycopodium cone is homosporous and Salaginella cone is heterosporous, means produce two different kind of spores. And the female gametophyte is retained in the parent sporophyte for viable periods. Within female gametophyte, zygote develop into the young embryo, and embryo is nothing future plant. This event is precursor to seed habitat. Remember, these are the first plant in which seed habitat was originated. Before pteridophyte, bryophyte was there. In bryophyte, seed is not going to form. So these are the first plant in which seed formation is started. And this is the important step in the evolution, because the plant from here furthermore are called as spermatophytes, means seed producing plants. Here the full life cycle is given. I told you this is sporophyte. Sorus, from sorus sporangia is there. Sorus bears sporangium. From sporangium spore is produced. Spore will germinate to form this prothallus. Here stages is given: spore, then germinate, then young sporophyte, rhizoids. Then from there mature gametophyte will produce, that is male and female. They will fertilize to form zygote. As soon as zygote is formed, sporophytic generation will start. See here, here is haploid, here is haploid, here is haploid, means this prothallus is haploid. So this haploid stage is gametophytic stage, and this all stage is sporophytic stage. That is the occurrence of two stages, means sporophyte and gametophyte, in the life cycle of plant is called alternation of generation, or it is called as heteromorphic generation. Then four classes of this pteridophyte is given: Psilopsida, Lycopsida, Spionopsida and Pteridopsida. In Psilopsida, Psilotum is included. In Lycopsida, Salaginella and Lycopodium is included. In Spinopsida, example is Equisetum. Pteridopsida, ptero means I told you, meaning is feather, feather leaves. Dryopteris, Adiantanum and Pteris. Remember here, right now you are watching this picture, but remember what do I tell? Means here this Salaginella, if we look at about this Salaginella and this Adiantanum, these are xerophytes. These two are xerophytes. Then Adiantanum is also called as walking fern. Remember this. Then epiphytes are Salaginella. Epiphytes means the plant which grow on the another plant. They are called as epiphyte. And this Salaginella oragosa, these are epiphytes. And some ferns are aquatic, like Salvinia, Azula and Ceratopteris. These are aquatic fern. Then Dryopteris is brook-shelled fern. Adiantanum is called as walking fern, I told you. Then Dryopteris is also called as sun fern. This Dryopteris is called sun fern. Sun fern. Remember this. The smallest fern among all is this Azula. Name is not given. Azula. Azolla is the smallest fern and water fern. In paddy crop like rice, this Azolla anobina association is common, help for nitrogen fixation. Now gymnosperm. Next division is gymnosperm. The meaning of gymno, it means naked, and sperma, it means seed. This is the cone and plant is cycas. Then if we see about this gymnosperm, the examples are cycas. In India, near about, if you look at about this gymnosperm, there are 16 genera and 53 species in India. 16 genera and 53 species in India. And if we look at about the whole world, there are about 70 genera and near about 725 species exist all over the world. These plant can survive in the extreme harsh condition. Gymnos means naked and sperma means seed. I told you these are the plants in which the ovule are not enclosed by ovary and remaining exposed before and after fertilization. Remember this point. These gymnosperms are also called as phanerogams without ovary. Phanerogams without ovary. Because seed is naked or there is no ovary, means there is no fruit wall. Example are cycas ovule, and we will see much more example ahead. Seeds are that develop post fertilization are not covered by seeds that develop the post fertilization are not covered by any covering, means seeds there is no covering around the seed. Then gymnosperm, these are naked seed in which ovule is not enclosed by ovary walls. Here gymnospermic ovule is given and angiospermic ovule. Difference is given because in this ovule has ovary around it, and this ovary will convert into the fruit wall after fertilization, and ovule is converted into the seed. But in case of this gymnospermic ovule, ovary is not there. It means from ovule only seed is going to form. And in case of angiosperm, double fertilization will take place, while in case of gymnosperm there is only a single fertilization. In case of angiosperm, the endosperm which is formed after double fertilization is triploid, and here in case of gymnosperm the endosperm is formed before fertilization and it is haploid in case of gymnosperm, and it is triploid in case of angiosperm and formed after double fertilization. Remember this. Then gymnosperm, look at this picture. This is the world's tallest plant. It's near about 356 to 360 meter, 360 feet. This is Sequoia semiparvus, world's largest tree, and this tree is also called as redwood tree, which is found in the California. It includes medium-sized trees or tall trees or shrubs. The gymnosperm Sequoia giant redwood tree is the tallest tree species. Pinus with mycorrhiza, short roots. See here, pinus. There are the two plants are included, cycas and pinus, to differentiate the characteristic. If we see about the pinus, it is with mycorrhiza. Myco means fungus and rhiza means root. The root of this plant is with a fungal covering called as mycorrhiza, which is beneficial for plant because they will provide the nutrient to plants so that the plant can grow and plant will provide the shelter to them. Means both will show symbiotic association. Mycorrhizal short root. Roots are generally are taproot. Root in some genera have fungal association in the form of mycorrhiza. Example, Pinus. And this is the plant Cycas revoluta. Cycas plant is also called as sago palm. Remember this word. Sago palm. Sago. Sago means sabudana. Cycas caruloid. Here is the caruloid root. I will show you. Remember this caruloid root. They will show the symbiotic association with Anabaena and Cyanobacteria. Caruloid root. Remember this. In specialized root called as caruloid root show the nitrogen fixing cyanobacteria like Anabaena. Stems are, their stem is unbranched in case of Cycas, but it is branched in case of Pinus. Then leaves are simple, compound. They are well adapted to withstand the extreme temperature, humidity and wind. In Cycas, if we look at about the leaves are pinnate leaves, persist for few years, and in conifers like Pinus, Cedrus, the leaves are needle-like and reduced leaves. The surface area and their thick cuticle and sunken stomata also help to reduce the water loss. Sunken means deep stomata, because they will try to conserve the water. Cycas pinnate leaves, these are needle-like leaves. These are needle-like, which reduces the loss of water. This is Cedrus, this is Pinus plant. Pinus plant, this is branched and Cycas is unbranched. Cycas, here is the male stabile. Male stabile means male cone. The leaves of this plant is called as, means two type of leaves are there. Being I told you, the Cycas is dioecious. Cycas is dioecious. Dioecious means male and female. Both plants are different. On male plant, the leaves are there called microsporophyll. The leaves which are present on the male plant called as microsporophyll, which will arrange together, aggregate together, and they will form a cone. This is the cone called as male cone, or it is called as male stabile. Remember this name, stabile. Stabile is present in Gymnosperm as well as in the pteridophytes. We saw the stabile in Equisetum. Remember this word, stabile means here is the male cone, but in case of Cycas, here it is written female cone, but all time this female cone is not going to form. Sometime this leaf will remain as it is, they will not form the cone, and these leaves on the female plant called as megasporophyll. Megasporophyll. Mega means large, sporo means spore producing, phyll means leaves. Gymnosperms are heterosporous and produce haploid microspore and megaspores. Some leaves are modified into sporophyll and they are compactly or spirally arranged along the axis and form the lax or stabile or cone. Remember all these three names. Here is the Cycas male cone is given. Their longitudinal section which has microsporophyll. Here also the leaf is involved as a reproductive organ. Hence it is called as microsporophyll in case of male, and in case of female it is megasporophyll. Sporophyll bear the sporangia. Sporangia means bag which contain the spore. Angia means bag. Spora means spore. And sporophyll may be a microsporophyll or megasporophyll. Microsporophyll means male and megasporophyll means female. Here is the microsporophyll which contain the microspore. Microspore is nothing but the pollen grain which is produced from the microsporangium. Microsporangium is bag which contain these small microspore, means pollen grain. And here this is the oval. Remember these are the plant Cycas in which the largest oval is found among the all kingdom plantae. it is visible by naked eyes. Then this is the LS of ovule, longitudinal section of ovule. Remember I told you the largest ovule found in the kingdom plant is in cycas. Largest male gamete is found in the cycas. This is the structure of ovule, which has micropyle. Micropyle means, micro means very small and pyle means gate, from where the pollen tube will enter. This microspore will produce this structure, like this structure. This is pollen tube and here will be the nucleus. So to take the entry of this pollen tube into this ovule, micropyle is here. Micropyle will provide the entry of this pollen tube into this ovule, and this entry of this pollen tube, this is pollen tube, this is pollen tube. When it enter into this ovule, means entry of male gamete by pollen tube into the ovule is called as siphonogamous fertilization. Siphono means tube. Entry of pollen tube into the ovule through pollen tube called as siphonogamy. Then outer fleshy layer, then mid stony layer, pollen chamber is there, or archegonial chamber is there. Then there is a archegonial chamber, nucellus. Nucellus is a nutritive tissue here. Prothallus is there, then archegonium and vascular bundle. Here is the X. Cycas male cone, longitudinal section is given. Microsporophyll is they are arranged to a male stabile like microsporangiate. They will produce microsporangia, and microspore is developed into the male gametophyte, and it is highly reduced and conified only to a limited number of cells, and this gametophyte is called as pollen grain. The pollen grain are developed within the microsporangia. Means male gamete is ready. Now female gamete is going to develop. Megaspore means female sex organ, female reproductive leaf, which is arranged to form a female stabile or macrosporangiate. Macro means large. They bear the megasporangia, ovules, naked ovules. Megasporangium consists of body called as nucellus. Nucellus is a nutritive tissue. Remember this. It is protected by nutritive tissue, which gives rise birth to the megaspore. From this nucellus, megaspore is produced, and this megaspore will form the egg, and this egg is haploid, which is going to fertilize. Then how the reproduction will take place? That microspore means pollen grain will fall on the surface of this micropyle by the air, and when this, here I will show you the structure. When this pollen grain will fall on the surface of this ovule, it will form the pollen tube, and by this pollen tube this male gamete is going to enter into this ovule and will fertilize with the egg. The male gamete is here haploid, female gamete is also haploid, that is egg, and the fusion will take place of male gamete and female gamete. Haploid male gamete, haploid female gamete, to form diploid zygote. This zygote will develop into the embryo. Embryo will develop into the seed, and from seed the sporophyte is going to develop or produce. Male or female cone may be born on the same tree. So remember, this is monoecious and cycas is dioecious, meaning I already told you. Monoecious means on one plant when male and female both the sex organ are present, it is called monoecious, and when male sex organ present on one plant and female sex organ present on the other plant, such a condition is called as dioecious, which is present in the cycas. Then here is the life cycle is given, that's alternation of generation. Remember, here is the meiosis. After meiosis, this whole process, this is gametophytic stage, because